an interesting topic about the persistence. What's the persistence? So far we were doing load balancing. We started our courses from what's the load balancing and all the thing. Now it's a situation where we say we don't want to do load balance. Okay, and there is a situation where you do the load balancing, but you want to stick to the one server only. And we will see what are the situation can be where we can use actually persistence. In which situation you can do that. So number one, what is a persistently? So I'm sure English point of view, we all know what is persistence is. So you just continuously sticking to your plan, right? Just persistently doing the same effort again. So in terms of load balancing, persistence mean require the client to stay connecting to the same server once connecting with the pool and not to the load balance of the different server. Big IP will keep track of the client and server it's connecting to. What does it mean is if the request comes from the client, FI will receive it and the first request goes to the server. Once your client request is connecting to one server, all the subsequent requests coming from the same client will not load balance to any method you have used. They will be persistently snake connected with the first server. Are you with me?
Yes. Does that depend upon any type of service, or is it just generic?
And mostly HTTP.
Okay.
Yeah, because we will see the situation, especially in the e-commerce environment. Okay. So we know the load balancing persistent method. Server 1, server 2, server 3. So as you can see, now in the form of persistence, what is going to happen? That the server 1 will request one of the client. If I am the client, I'm sending the request to a web, but a new client, for example, Hasnan comes in, or Mansoor comes in, or Muhammad, or anybody, Kaz comes in, their request will be separate. But my request only to that specific client. Once it is connected to server 1, he will be stay connected to server 1 only. And the next request 2, 3, 4, they will be not going to route whatever the method you have used, it doesn't matter. If you use persistent for HTTP, you will be only connected to one server only. That's it. So in which situation you will use that? Now that's important, especially in a situation where you have e-commerce environment. For example, if initially you are going to buy one on the Amazon, you bought 2 or 3 products. So once you add it in the cart and you are going to pay that, for example, but in the meanwhile, of course, when you are filling up your card details and all this stuff, it might take some time. However, during that, if you might connect to another server, what will be happening? Maybe you need to put these card information again, because that server request will be that separate. So in this situation, your HTTPS request need to be connected to the one server only, because you as a client, you will be just connecting to one server and you want all the shopping cart. During the shopping cart, once you add them into the shopping, you want to make sure that you will be only close your deal at one server. Clear? So mostly in the shopping cart environment or the e-commerce environment, you want this situation because the time is very critical. At that time, the customer experience is very important. If you during that, if you keep disconnecting, or if your session is timeout or anything like that, you will be not going to visit this again. Okay? But how does it happen? The type of persistence, there's a source based, there's a hash based, there's a HTTPS based, cookies based. Okay? So as we know, keeping track of the client. So how the F5 will know that these requests must go to one server, but only. So how it does happen? It can keep track of the source of the IP, can do based on the cookies, can based on the hashing mechanism. Because what we need is Mr. X, if Maz requests are coming, it need to be connected to the one server. If cache request is coming, it may not be connected. Once it's connected to the server 3, it will always goes to all the requests to the server 3 and not to the server 2. Clear?
Sorry, can you just repeat the same thing
Sorry.
again? I
Okay.
didn't quite get that.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that how you can do the persistence. So persistence is clear, first of all.
Yeah,
Are you clear?
persistence.
Okay, persistence is clear. So if you're
Sorry.
clear about what is persistence, then the next step is how we can do that. How the F5 can keep track that the connection coming from this number, this client's request need to be connected to this server all the time. How it happened? It happened based on the 2 or 3 types. Number one, you can keep track of the source of the IP, right? You can see based on the HTTP cookies, or you can do the hashing. Okay, because all the requests from this client need to be connected to the one server only and not to the load balance.
But in general, like say for example, if it's coming from that client request, the client could be anybody and it will be a random IP.
Yeah.
Or the public. So how can you say it's
Yeah,
coming
we'll
from?
see that. We'll see that. Number one. So first of all, based on the source IP. So big IP tracks clients using its IP. Big IP will create a persistence record. Mask determine how persistent record is created. So it use the mask, for example. It use the /32 applies to single IP, hundreds of host server form, type of 100 persistent record. So what does it mean? If somebody, for example, if somebody has a public IP address in my house or your house, because of course you will be having a one IP address, and that IP address maybe numbers of different clients are using. If one house 4 people are using, they might be connected to different server. They will be connecting to all the time to the same server, because now F5 keep track of this is the IP address the request is coming from. However, if the request is coming from /24 or any of these hundreds hosts from the same IP, they might have a different IP address. Total of 1 persistent. In this situation, total of 100 persistence record. This situation might be 1 persistent record, because this is actually coming from /24. Okay. There can be a situation, for example, most likely this is the common situation, when you have 100 of client coming from one IP because they have a one public IP address. It's like a PAT scenario. Client that exists behind the NAT gateway, router switches, things using the same source IP, PAT and NAT overload. Application server forms enabled by the persistence using the source IP. Major client in the same form or from the same company. 100 clients behind the same NAT gateway. All 100 clients connection should be the same server. So you can see all these 100 requests, because they are using the one public IP, it will be always connected to the server 1. Okay. However, in case of /24, there will be a it will treat them, each request will be treated as a different record. One request, sorry. Cookies is quite interesting one. I think every day we browse different website. When we go to them nowadays, you see, you search something, and when you go, for example, you search something to the eBay or Amazon, or sorry, on the Google. When you go to the Facebook or when you go to any other website, they know that what are you looking for example, today. In this kind of situation, they keep track to you based on the cookies, because that will be big IP clients using the HTTP cookies only applicable for the web form. So in this way, your cookies are actually stored on your HTTP, which is shared across, and then client know that actually what are you looking for. So big IP can track the client based on the cookie or based on the IP, either two-way. Clear? Right? So HTTP, we know that there is a cookie involved in the HTTP. What is cookies? A cookie, also known as HTTP cookies, web cookie or browser cookie, usually a small piece of information sent from the website and stored in the user browser while browsing the website. So nowadays, if you go to the different websites, they tell you, okay, we have this kind of policy, or we have a different kind of policy. Are you agree or not? Something like that.
And when I've noticed this on many sites, when you go into it does ask you, we run cookies, and if you agree to this and you say okay, But
Yeah.
what kind of information do they normally pick from you? Like,
They pick up the HTTP information from your site, like your cookie information, and that will be installed. They install their cookie into your browser. That is why they get the permission. So next time if you are going to different website, you will see that the same kind of ads are coming into there as well. Right? This is they keep track of the information based on the cookie installed in your browser. That cookie will be installed on the browser. So what do you do when you send a HTTP? You see, you request it, you respond with a cookie, and that request will go into the cookie. So actually this cookie will be installed on your web browser. So cookie, as you can see, user surf the web, see you are at what happens, visit your website, web server leave your website for another website, web server sees the same kind of ad to another website, web server respond to the ad. So this is how the nowadays your advertisement work on the website nowadays, right?
Yeah, so you could be visiting a total different website, but you'll be seeing Amazon adverts on that website because you've been to Amazon before.
Because now
So
now the cookie is installed in your browser for some period of time. Okay, now guys, this is quite important. There are cookies persistence using the cookie. There are two methods. One is insert mode, one is a rewrite mode, and one is a passive mode. Three cookie method. Insert mode, where F5 will create the cookie and it will install on the browser. Rewrite method, server and big F5 create the cookie. Passive, only server create the cookie. Okay, so insert mode mean
that's interesting. Yeah.
That's
the F5 itself can create the cookie.
Yeah, and then it will be installed on the browser. Rewrite mean the server and big I5, the server, because people are accessing this server from the outside, that server will create a cookie plus F5 will create a cookie, and then this will be installed on the browser. Passive mode, F5 is not creating a cookie. Whatever the cookies are installed on the passive on the server, it will be installed on the browser. So these are the three different methods. Okay. Persistent cookie conversation client and disable the use of the cookie not recommended time on the client. So sometime for troubleshooting point of view, you need to make sure the client machine have accurate client time, and also client should not disable the cookie not recommended. So how we do that? We will be doing this way. So how we can install these, how we can do that. So we already have HTTP pool. So choosing the existing HTTP pool from the VIP, then we will be enabling TCP, and you see right now HTTP is disabled, so you need to enable HTTP, and I will tell you the reason is. So let's say I'm going to the VIP virtual server for HTTP VIP. This is my HTTP VIP. And you can see the HTTP, in order to enable the cookies, actually, you need to do two things. Number one, you need to make sure the TCP protocol, because HTTP is a TCP, so TCP protocol is enabled, which is already enabled here. Second thing is, you need to enable this HTTP profile. See? HTTP profile. Why is it so? At this level, what are you actually, the client request is coming for port 80. You are only observing receiving the client on port 80, and you are just looking at the port level, HTTP port level. You are not actually looking inside the header. When you enable this profile, it means that you are saying HTTP profile. It means that you are saying that please look not just only the port information, but look inside the HTTP header as well, because the header cookie are inside the HTTP header. They are not in the port 80. So you are actually putting some kind of intelligence behind the VIP. Clear? Are you with me?
Yep, got you.
So these are the profiles. So you can see these are the profile existing here. Yes, please.
Sorry. So basically, if we want to add like, say for example, we need to go on to, just to summarize your whole thing.
Sure.
We need to go on to the virtual servers.
Virtual server. Yeah.
And then from there we need to select
virtual server, whatever the virtue you have. The TCP should be selected, and also you see HTTP profile. At the moment is none.
None.
We're not using cookies. Now we're not using persistence. HTTP, and then update.
It says use client profile, protocol profile like server. So that makes sense.
No. Yeah. HTTP, not these. Don't worry about these. I'm just saying HTTP profile. And in the HTTP profile, you are instructing. Previously, you were just looking what you have done this in this WIP. You said, okay, anybody is coming to this IP for port 80. Do the load balance. That's all.
You clean anyway. Okay.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So what I'm saying is, at this stage, without enabling HTTP profile, what you have instructed so far, you are saying if any client is coming to this PC, to this WIP, and if he's coming to port 80, load balance. Clear? And whatever the load balance you have applied. But when you put this HTTP request, you are saying, yes, fine, it is port this 80, it is HTTP packet, but this time look inside the header. So you are putting some kind of intelligence behind it, like at the application level.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah, that
update
makes sense.
That. Once you do that, go to the resources, and you see this default persistent profile. And I'm using this cookie as well. So update. Done. So two things, guys. Go again. Are you with me now? Please open up this. Open up this now.
Sorry, virtual server list.
Okay, go to your virtual server. Select your HTTP WIP. Like MAS HTTP WIP. This is HTTP. Make sure TCP is already selected. Make sure your HTTP profile is selected as well.
Okay, just 1 second.
Because it will not be selected previously.
HTTP. I use TCP. Okay. That's all we need. Yes, I open and I select the HTTP. That's it.
Then update it at the end. And once you do that, you need to go into the resources, and you see this default where you selected the pool.
Yeah.
You have to see this default persistent profile.
Okay.
And
cookies.
Once you select cookie, there are some other method, but at the moment we are discussing cookie.
Okay.
Fallback is if that is not working, that it can fall back to the source IP. So using two cookie method, that's all.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. But let's just update with it.
And then you go to resource, and within the resource you say cookie.
Done?
Nearly. Just 1 second.
Maz, this is under virtual servers.
Yes, boss. I explained 3 times. This is a virtual server, boss. Go to a MAS HTTP WIP, please, and you will see that this is a virtual server you have created. You don't need to do on the pool or node. It's a virtual server, the WIP. And here you see. When I'm following you, please follow with me.
Yeah.
It's okay. I will help him with
Done?
if he needs anything. Yeah, you just go into the list of virtual server, and from there you just select the pool, HTTP pool, and from there you need to select cookie.
Done?
Yeah.
Done, sir? Where do we go? Okay, and then you need to go to the resources and select the cookie. Okay?
Yeah, we done that. Yeah. That's
Okay.
fine.
How about you, Mohammed? Hello? Mohammed, you done it?
Hello?
Naz, you done?
Sorry, yeah.
Stan, you done?
I have changed it in cookie. Sorry, in resources in cookie, but the properties. Is there one I missed?
Mohammed, where are you? Where is
Yeah, yeah,
More
in-
HTTP.
He's on about, like, properties. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is your pool. You need to go HTTP profile. Where is HTTP? I repeated many times. HTTP profile. Just select HTTP. Update. And resources.
yeah,
And just go here and you use the cookie.
yeah, done.
I repeated 3 times. And you're still there. Okay. Fine. Done. So how we can test it, guys? The cookies one. How we can test
Yeah.
this with the cookies? Now let's go into the browser. First of all, before we do that, we need to clear all the stats we have. So stat point of view, HTTP, let me just select all of them, clear them. Okay, my request is clear, guys. So left, if I connect that, I'm connecting and I'm connecting and connecting with my server. You can trust your server. So you can see I am only connecting to 101. See that? 23 requests. See? So all the total 46. I think, okay. So this, how many requests? 23. Total, yeah, total 23. Yeah, this is a two request 46. So you can see it's only going to server 2. Even though the server 2 has a less, I would say, resources available. Yeah, it has.
Same
now,
with me. Same
Yeah,
with me. Tester
yeah,
is
yeah.
going to server 2.
Okay, let me see where you are. So where you are, Hasnan? You are Hasnan. You are going to server 2. Good. How about anybody else, please? Mo, have you tested it? Please go into the test PC and test with your VIP. Your VIP, Muhammad. Muhammad, your VIP will be 104.
104, yeah.
Yeah. So go into 104.
I am
And
actually.
yeah. Okay. Type it here. 104. Yeah. You will see that it's connected to the server 1 now. So in Muhammad, your case will be.
Sorry, in order to.
Muhammad, yeah, you are connected to server 1. Yeah, that's fine.
In order to bring the list like yours, how do we get this, like, from the statistics? Yeah, okay, no problem. That's fine.
What do you mean? Go into the pools. We already done this many times.
Yeah. No, local traffic status summary.
Maz, if you want to clear the output, from which button do you clear usually?
Okay.
You
You
click.
see, yeah, you can select all of them, and
Yeah.
this is a reset.
Yeah.
Okay. I would advise to only clear the pool you have. So for example, you
Yeah,
are
it's possible.
more here. Yeah, collect all
Yeah.
of them, only your, and say reset.
Okay, no problem.
In my case, it's going to the first one.
It may be random, so we can see that. So now, guys, we have done this. So let's see where we can see the cookies. Have you done? Everybody with me? So open your browser wherever you have tested. Let's go and see the settings where we can see the cookies. So let's go. I'm going into the settings. Go into the browser, and at the right side you will see this bar, and in the settings. And these are the settings where we will see the cookie installed.
Sorry,
So-
just 1 second. Yeah.
Sure.
Can you say that again?
Okay. Now we would like to see, because we use the cookie method, we want to see where the cookie is installed in my browser. This is the Chrome browser. So in the Chrome browser, you will see, go to the settings at the right here. Are you with me, everybody, please?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Mohammed,
Yeah.
Yes.
can you open settings, please? And in the settings, I think you can go into the advanced privacy and security. I think in the privacy, it should be in the privacy, or where? 1 second. It should be in the. Okay. Just once privacy. So we see the. We'll see the. It was in the privacy somewhere. 1 second.
You are using Chrome, so okay.
I am using Chrome. So everybody has a Chrome anyway on this browser.
Okay, let me close Firefox because.
Okay, Firefox. So let me just first of all. Okay, we need to check search engine, password, languages, default systems. Should be here. It should be in the privacy. Import settings, manage people. Appearance. It should be no in the themes, no. Search engine, default browser on the startup. Okay, here is the, you see, privacy and security. Yeah, you see the manage certificate. Here we go. I think this is the settings. I want to see the cookies. These are privacy security settings. Let me see. Okay. Go to Google. So we have Chrome. Okay, from the Chrome menu, right click settings, advanced, privacy and content. Okay, you should go to the privacy content settings. Cookies setting, check all the cookie, uncheck all the cookie. Okay, so manage cookie settings. Okay, so let me see. Okay, which one is set? Sorry, can you privacy select content setting? Content settings. Okay, content privacy. Here we go. Content
Further
setting.
down.
Content setting. And here we see the cookies. Allow site, cool, third party, blog. Here we go. See all the cookies and data. Here we go, sir. That's Muhammad. If you look at this, that's the pool. You see that? Big IP my pool. If you look, you see the contents, domain, path, That's the cookie is stored, which means that any requests are now coming, because that is HTTP request. Any request coming from my server, from this side, it always stay connected to the server too. And because of this cookie, that cookie is installed in the browser. Okay. So guys, just again, setting, privacy and security, setting, privacy and security setting, content setting. Are you with me? In the content setting, you need to select cookies, and within the cookie, you need to go to see all the cookies and the site. Because I browser Muhammad as well, 104. So you can see this is MO HTTP pool. These are the contacts, these are the domain, these are the path, this, when this browser session ends. Okay, so you see when it's going to be end, when I close this browser section. You can do a different settings. Are you with me?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Hi, Maz. For some reason, I can't connect from Chrome onto the from the server.
What is your IP? What is your IP?
Sorry, I'm using this one. 1 second. It's bringing as HTTPS. I just need a HTTP.
HTTP only, please.
Yeah, it's working now. Sorry, it was HTTPS. That's why. So if I go back to my content settings, and then from there, manage other people and for bookmarks, sign into Chrome.
Okay.
Just 1 second before advance. Yeah.
So if I check all your cookies, all your for example HTTP, if I look at the cache as well, you should see the cookie will be installed for the cache as well. So if you look these settings, so now you see I have the cache. You see there are 3 cookies now. If I look for the Mansoor 1112, so you can test all these cookies as well. Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, please.
No, sorry. How do you check the someone else cookies or something?
Yeah, you just browse his HTTP VIP.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I've done that. Yeah, I can see my cookie anyway.
Perfect.
By contact. That's it.
At this stage, just see that you can see your cookies. Then later on, you can find somebody else's cookie. So I have 4 cookies, guy. 100, 104, 108, 112. All these are working for me. Perfect.
But here it says, in my cookies, it says big IP server Maz HTTP pool.
Yes, because
Why
you might
Why-
have gone to my is a pool? Is it saying pool or is it saying what? Is it should?
Is it because I put 100 in there? 108 should be.
Oh
there.
yes.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. I'm thinking, why is it showing me Maz one? Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's fine. All done.
Good. So far so good, guys. Any problem?
Absolutely fine.
Perfect.